Shalom, 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 shalom. Man, I hope everybody's having a blessed day. This one is not a teaching or anything like that, but since I have a lot of people that are 40 and below, a lot of my viewers are in their 20s, man. I want to talk to the younger crowd and just talk to you about some things that you may not be getting. People may have never told you some of the things I'm gonna say tonight. And man, many of our young people are not, they're making some mistakes. They're falling into a lot of these traps. And I'm sitting back fathomed because, man, when I was this age, I had people around me that, would make sure we're not moving a certain way. So I'm coming on here to pretty much just talk to the youth about how they're moving and why we're losing so many people, so many of our youth, to what I call the turn up. The turn up is you're going out for a night of fun, you're going out to celebrate, just as this young lady that we're talking about tonight, just as she did. And man, that turn up is going to cost you your life. It's truly sad. A popular YouTuber, content creator, I guess social media personality by the name of Alysha Burney, was confirmed dead, man, and passed away. She was celebrating her birthday in Mexico and got laced with some drugs. And different videos are saying different things. And anytime something happens in Mexico like that, man, you have a hard time trying to figure out what actually happened, and man, I have been to Mexico back when soldiers was able to go across the border, and man, there were just certain do's and don'ts. And man, I've had the opportunity to party around the world, party in different countries. And there are some things that you just don't do. Just recently, man, we had that man in that white pickup truck that I want to say it was New Orleans, man, plowed down, was on demon time and plowed down a lot of people and they lost their lives. And what were a lot of these people, that were out in the streets doing, man? What do people go to Mardi Gras for, man? They go to Mardi Gras to turn up, to get drunk, get loose. Back in the day, man, they had these tapes out. Back in the day, it was called, what's it called? Girls Gone Wild. And oftentimes, man, they would film that stuff at Mardi Gras. They would film that stuff on Bourbon Street. Man, a lot of our youth are turning up and losing their lives. Man, I want to say it was about 3 months ago where I live. Man, they had somebody in a club that was pretty much like sprinkling fentanyl and people's drink, the powder, and randoms people drink. And to do something malicious like that, man, you are on nothing but demon time. Nothing but demon time. And a lot of these people, a lot of our youth, young men and women, society will say, man, they're innocent bystanders. How did this happen to my son or to my daughter? Young lady that died, Alysha Burney, was 25. And let me give you some little bit of context, because it's sad, man. I don't like to see nobody lose their life to this, And I want you to think, man, if you are in your 30s and 40s and you survived this, man, it was nothing more than the Most High Yah's mercy, man, that allowed you to survive that and see another day. You got people that's going out to the club on their 21st birthday and are never coming home. They going out getting drunk and all kind of stuff is happening. Man, not too long ago, there was that other young black lady who went to Mexico, and I want to say she was in a hotel room and her friends jumped her or something like that. Sad, man. Let's see. The Pop Flops X post claimed that confirmed reports stated that Alysha Burney died after she was laced during a trip to Mexico. Confirmed report says she died from being laced during a trip to Mexico for her birthday, which was on March 3rd. The tweet read. Let's see. The term laced is often used in context of drugs when different types of drugs are combined or a single substance is given to a person without their consent. It is referred to as being laced. When people become victims of such circumstances, their lives are threatened as they can die from overdosing and various toxic substances. The post reported that Alysha's Burney friend, Jay Lena, took her Instagram stories to confirm her passing. Lena called Burney the most genuine, sweet, beautiful, and humble human they had ever met. And this is I don't doubt that a lot of these people, a lot of our youth that's dying, I don't doubt that they genuine, sweet, beautiful, humble. But man, I'm trying to just, as somebody, it's not even old, but just has survived a lot of this stuff that our young people are dying from, man. It's like, if I got a platform to be able to talk to the youth, and I know a lot of my viewers are young, man, I'm going to do so. Because out of everything that her friend said, most genuine, sweet, beautiful, humble human they ever met, man, we got to make sure this younger generation has the wisdom. Possibly they don't understand the value of life. And the times of 20 years ago where you could live life in the fast lane and get another chance, man, let me give you this. Acts chapter 7, verse 30 through 31. Therefore, God overlooked and disregarded the former ages of ignorance, but now he commands all people everywhere to repent. That is, to change their old way of thinking, to regret their past sins, and to seek God's purpose for their lives. Because he has set a day when he will judge the inhabited world in righteousness by a man whom he has appointed and destined for that task. And he has provided credible proof to everyone by raising him from the dead. Man, the time of our young people being able to get out here and move in ignorance, man, is it's over. It is over. With all of these different, and maybe it's because I grew up in a different era to where we didn't have all of these different drugs, different generation, but now they got stuff, on the news daily. Somebody's dying in a lot of these cities from fentanyl overdoses, bad street medication, and all of this stuff. Man, there's videos. If you type in Alysha Burney on YouTube and you pull up a couple of the videos, man, they show like a shot of her in the club, a video drinking this alcohol. Somebody's talking to her, but it ain't registered. She didn't look drunk. She just looked loopy. And I talked about this recently in one of my Sabbath messages, man. You had to be cautious because some of these people that you're hanging around that you call your friends, man, they are on demon time. They are sent of Hasatan, and they the one that's going to say, friend, tonight is your night. Let's turn up. Take this. And if you are trusting in them, thinking that they're going to ensure you have eternal life and salvation, man, that's the first mistake. That's the first mistake. I tell you, like, I'm somebody that's lived a crazy life before getting my life right with the Most High Yah. And I tell you, man, anytime that we were smoking, if somebody that we knew was the one that had the stuff that we were smoking, but 9 times out of 10, we wasn't smoking because we don't know you like that. You know, Drake had a song, "No New Friends." That's the way we was moving. Maybe that's the way we survived a lot of this stuff, but you can't even apply that today because so much of this stuff is not trustworthy. You know, and when I read you that passage about ignorance, regardless of if you know what sin is or not, regardless of if you think something is good or bad, it doesn't matter how you perceive it, you know, in your youth. Man, there's nothing wrong, you know, about drinking. Nothing wrong with it. It's not a sin in the Bible. Being a drunkard is a sin. They accuse the Messiah of being a drunkard. But our young people are getting introduced to this stuff not in a righteous manner. They're going overboard with it. They're going overboard. You know, man, people are doing all kind of abominations with the everyday thing. You can't trust, you know, if you got a family member that's dibbled and dabbled in drugs, and you say you got a headache and they offer you a Tylenol, man, you can't trust this stuff these days. You cannot trust it. You need to get your own supply. You got family member that's buying their medications off the street because they can't afford the copay or the actual cost via the insurance for the drug, so they buying it off the street. A lot of this stuff is laced. There's a video, we don't know what this drug that she thought she was getting actually was, but according to the video, somebody said it was a perk 30. And I've been in Mexico vacationing. I've been over there partying, and I tell you, all of the stuff that will have you croaked over and dead, man, you can easily walk up to a pharmacy over there and get the stuff that will have you croaked over and dead because it's not regulated. It's just an open market. You cannot trust these people that live lawless and push drugs to have your best interest at heart. You know, we don't know if she paid some money for this drug or somebody bought it off the street. But let me tell young people, man, you cannot move like that. You cannot move like that in this country, especially in other countries. You talking about Mexico, where the cost of living, when you think about poverty and things like that, how little these people make. Oh yeah, they want that money. They don't care about what you getting. You up here taking a pill, thinking it's a mint or something. It's made out of Comet cleanser. Too many of our young people are losing their lives. Let's see. Let's keep reading. The most genuine, sweet, beautiful, and humble human I've ever come across. I'm so happy I was able to embrace you and tell you how much I loved and miss you, seeing you over Christmas break. Life is unexpected. Rest beautifully, Alysha. You'll be missed so much, Jay wrote. The friend shared a black and white selfie of the two together in an Instagram story. The exact time of the social media post being uploaded online remained unknown at the time of writing this article. Okay, more about Alysha's Burney as a TikToker reportedly dies age 25. As per famous birthdays, Burney rose to fame after her Bad Girls Club parody went viral online. However, before she became a staple across social media platforms, she amassed a following on popular Vine apps as well. It seems like the content creator was fond of comedy, as she also worked in a stand-up comedy club in her home state of Missouri. You know, and this is not when Hasatan comes for you, man, he don't discriminate. He don't discriminate. I tell you that much. And a lot of the stuff that the youth, in your youth, lack of maturity, you think it ain't nothing wrong with it, man, biblically, you'll find out that this stuff is sin and you don't need to be partaking in it. That's what I want you to realize. Because, man, you have people that are doing what they're supposed to do, not going out there tempting Hasatan to target them in their living. You gotta understand, like, you're not gonna catch me. I don't go when it comes to public places, man, where there's a lot of people and a lot of drinking and people smoking and going on, man, I'm thinking about the mental state of some of these people that want to be in that environment. And for that reason, I'll be like, nah. If we're getting something to eat with my family, we're getting in and we getting out. But we're not just hanging around. We're not just hanging around. Man, I remember going to see the ball drop, back before I started walking in truth and it being in Times Square. Me and my wife and the children. And just the situational awareness of me being in the military, having some street smarts, I thought about, okay, all of these people crammed into this little area. Man, I remember being on them MRAPs in Afghanistan and being at a pinch point in the road and all these people start crowding around. You don't have no control over, how you going to get up out of there. I tell you, man, when you are going to a lot of people, a lot of youth, they're going to be people that will never watch this video I'm making, in their 20s, in their late teens, mid 20s, man. And right around this time is, I want to say it's close to spring break. You're going to have people booking these trips, youth, and they don't realize, man, their family is not going to see them. They not coming back. They're going over there to do stuff that they've heard people got away. But oftentimes we don't even hear of the stories of people that die in Cancun, in some of these places. We don't hear of it. This just happened to make the news. So I'm like, man, this is, I'm very vocal when it comes to speaking on stuff like this because I want young people to live a prosperous life. And man, you are playing Russian roulette, living lawless, thinking that it can't happen to you. Man, I talk about on this channel, man, I'm very looking at some of the stuff that's out there today sexually. Some of these new diseases, these hybrids that have morphed. Some people don't care, man. They don't care about the value of life. And you know good and well, a lot of this stuff that people is out here contracting, they're not coming up with cures for because the money is in treatment. Man, I want the youth to really think about before you are moving in lawlessness, going out, getting drunk and stuff like that. Chances are you don't have nobody around you or you're not going with nobody wise. I was very blessed, man, to have, at least some people around me that had common sense. Where I was too young, music was so good. We in the club partying in a club that gets shot up every weekend. I'm very fortunate and blessed to tell you, I had people in my life that would say, hey, we can't stay here till it closed. Everybody leave an hour before it closed. Seems like every weekend people get jealous. This while I was in El Paso, border town. Brother came in to visit. We stayed we stayed all the way to the club closed. Man, we was outside. We was outside up under minivans and Tahoes. They was spraying. And I'm like, man, whoo. But oftentimes, when you're young, you think you're getting a thrill out of that. And you don't realize, man, you've been spared. You looking at this stuff saying, man, ooh, I got so drunk and I blast out and man, they was shooting, man, that was lit. Not realizing, man, you've been spared. It was the Most High Yah's mercy. And I'm telling you this, you know, as raw and real as this sounds, man, if you know somebody, if you got a family member, a loved one that's in that 18, 28 range, it seems like that's the age range that's getting wiped out. The age range that's supposed to be repopulating the next generation, that's the age range Hasatan is taking out. Man, if you've got somebody, hey, shalom, Black Adam, shalom, my brother, bless you too. Hope all is well. Man, if you've got somebody in that age range, man, share this video with them because they might not have nobody else around them that is giving them the wisdom, is giving them the message. Man, one bad choice, man, and you're going to miss out on the kingdom. I want you to understand, and for this young lady, you think about how funerals go. They normally, somebody gets up there, a preacher, a pastor gets up there to tickle the folk ears, to say all this nice stuff, but we got to start calling it for what it is. We got to start calling it for what it is. And if the Most High Yah has spared you, given you another chance and allowed you to prosper apart from you once living a life of sin, man, you got an obligation to the people around you that you can influence and say, hey, that ain't it, man. That ain't it. You ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it like that. You want to see 30? You want to see 40? You want to get to my age? You ain't gonna make it like that. Because when we look at Acts chapter 7 about the time of ignorance, the Most High Yah overlooking, man, you ain't getting all these second chances and third chances. Nope. You may get drunk and never wake up. You may be buying some drugs that in your hometown is good, but you going somewhere else, you can't do that. You can't do that. So it's sad, man, to see this young daughter of Zion who had, ain't no telling what she was capable of because she built her following from the ground up and did very well. I'm not familiar with her content, but she was able to build something and be able to generate something for herself. So like I said, man, it is definitely sad to see a lot of our young men that potentially have so much more life to live lose their lives, and our young women behind what I call the turn up. You might go out there for that night to turn up and never wake up, never see another day. As bad as that sounds, I want you to understand that's the realest thing that a lot of these young people will ever hear. And I'll tell you, man, you cannot control or try to lock people down. You got to let them make their own choices. And sometimes we find prosperity in our obedience to the word of Yah, but oftentimes these young people are finding death because they chose the way of lawlessness. They chose the way of sin. Sad, man. We're in the last days. Closer to Yah Ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight. Wow.